Oh, yo, what's up, guys? Today, this is my first ever video. So today, we're gonna start off with a reaction video. So let's try reacting to Zack these films. Everyone keeps on talking about him like they're like always like he's traumatizing. So let's go to his popular videos. So yeah. So the first one I see is how stitches work.
When you get stitches, a doctor threads a needle through your wound and pulls it tight to close the skin. As the stitches hold the edges together, the wound becomes inflamed as new cells begin to repair the tissue. Afterwards, connective tissues and collagen start to create skin. Then, blood vessels form to nourish these developing tissues.
Wait, what? Blood vessels can develop outside of your skin? I thought it can only develop inside.
Filling in the area. And over a few weeks, the wound will have healed together and the stitches are removed. When you get stitches, a doctor...
Now that is very important to know and very interesting. See, I think it's not too bad. Why do people say he's traumatizing?
If you get a splinter, most people just go ahead.
Actually, I used to get the splinter before. It actually hurt, guys. So yeah, never try to get a splinter.
And pull them out. But sometimes they get lodged so deep into your skin that you can't reach.
Ooh. How can you get a splinter lodged very into your skin? Like is some people really that dumb and just like try to put it in?
Them. If the area gets infected, it will start to swell as pus forms under the skin. This creates pressure around the splinter that can sometimes push it upwards towards the skin's surface. And if you're lucky, after a certain period of time, your body could have completely removed it from your skin. If you get a splinter...
Now that's another interesting video, but I don't know how can they actually get the splinter out. I know he literally just explained it, but I'm still kind of confused. Like it's very complicating. So let's go to the next video.
Have you ever noticed how odd the McFlurry spoon
Yeah, like I keep on getting that spoon. Like, come on, man, what's that?
is? Well, some people think it's supposed to work like a straw.
Alright, if you think it's a straw, you're dumb. Like, bro, I know there's literally a big ass hole right over here. But are you serious, bro? You're telling me you think it's gonna be a straw, man?
But you only have to try that once to realize it does not work. The true reason for these weird spoons is actually pretty genius. You see, McDonald's didn't want to clean their beaters after every McFlurry, so instead, they designed a spoon that would also work as the mixer. Have you...
That's cool. It's very efficient though.
If you shot a bullet at ancient armor, some people think it could actually stop the impact.
You're just dumb, man.
But armor like chainmail was designed to block slashing swords. And plate armor was even better at deflecting strikes by spreading the blunt force across more area, lessening its impact. But these materials weren't very good at stopping arrows, which had enough energy to enter the armor. So a bullet would have no trouble going right through. If you shot a bullet...
Wait, why did I just pause and say nothing? Next video, man.
If you somehow removed all of the blood vessels in your body,
somehow,
and tied them together, you might think it would be about this long. But
you might think, nah, Zack, it's just gonna be you, man.
The human body has thousands of these tiny vessels that weave in and out of every body part. And with all of them combined, if you started in New York, your blood vessels would make it all the way to the Grand Canyon. It would go on to reach all the way across the Pacific Ocean, over Japan, Asia, and all of Europe. And not only would it make it all the way back to your starting point.
Why does that sound so weird, man? Like it's a...
But it would be able to make this trip 2 to 4 times over. If you somehow... When a doctor gives you a shot, they can sometimes accidentally push the needle all the way through your vein, which ends up puncturing both sides. Once the
That actually happened to me last time. That actually happened to me before.
needle is removed, it leaves 2 holes in the vein. And before the body can thicken the blood and seal these holes, it bleeds into the surrounding
Yeah, like it doesn't even give a chance. Like, bro, it hurts so much, guys.
tissues. This leaked blood forms a dark, tender area under the skin, creating bruises and splotchy areas. When a doctor gives
Bro, why does the syringe look like it's your fault? Like, bro, chill out, man.
you a shot, if everyone on Earth clipped
Ugh! It hasn't even been 1 second, man.
their toenails and threw them into the ocean, you might think they'd float and blanket a huge area. But toenails don't
You might think, Zack, you need to get show. You need to, bro. Zack, I think you need to get to a therapy, man.
actually float, so they would pile up at the bottom of the ocean. As over 82 billion clippings rain down, it would choke fish and smother the seafloor until a massive pile broke through the surface. And after this global clipping, you would have a walkable toenail island, 10 times bigger than Central Park.
Alright, bro. Wait, how big is Central Park? How big is Central Park? Central Park. Ooh, they got 42 million visitors. Oh, 2016. 2016 is it's when I was born. Bro, I don't need all of this. Bro, just Bro, I just want to know what's the size. Come on, man. You know what? Who cares anyways?
When a firing squad shoots a prisoner, one of the bullets actually isn't real. You see, one of the rifles is loaded with a blank, but it still fires and kicks back when the trigger is pulled. The soldiers aren't told which rifle it is, casting doubt on who actually shot and killed the man. This way, the soldiers can feel less guilty and sleep at night, knowing there was a chance that they weren't the one to kill him.
Alright, let me check the comments. And then there's that one guy who won't be able to sleep trying to figure out who had the blank. Oh my gosh.
When a firing
Have you ever wondered how this trick is done? It's one of those things where you know he can't actually be making the salt disappear, but it's still confusing to look at. Well, it turns out that the simplest explanation is the right one. Look closely at his hand during this shot. Do you notice how he sort of grabs his thumb here? Well, this is because he's using a prop called a dofi finger. He holds it in his fist like a cup, fills it up with the salt, gets it onto his other thumb, and then grabs it off his thumb back into the first position. Watch it again and see if you can notice. Have you ever wondered how this trick is done? It's one of those things where you know he can't actually be making the salt disappear, but it's
That's cool.
still confusing to look at.
If you lose one of your adult teeth,
Ooh, now that will hurt, bro.
the bone where the tooth once was can start to deteriorate. To prevent further damage, a dentist will fill the cavity with a synthetic material that mimics real bone. Once filled, a metal bracket is secured on top and the incision is closed. After the graft has healed, a large implant post is inserted into the new bone.
Oh wait, is that how the metal teeth is put? Like this one. Wait, let me just search it up. Let me just search it up. Hold on. Metal tooth. Hold on, wait. Did I? Oh wait, no, I did not. Okay. Oh yeah, see, it's this one. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool though. Wait. Kind of cool.
Then a small metal piece is screwed in and a porcelain tooth is secured on top. If you lose one
Oh wait, it wasn't the metal tooth thing? Oh my gosh, man. I think I'm dumb.
They opened the pallet of ammunition only to find it was full of Tootsie Rolls. You see, Tootsie Roll was a code name for mortar rounds, which the Marines desperately needed. But the radio operator who received the order didn't know that and sent the actual candy instead. At first, the Marines were angry, but the sub-freezing temperatures had frozen all their food, and the candies ended up sustaining them over the next few days. They even used them to plug bullet holes by warming them up and letting them freeze in place. And eventually, the real mortar rounds did arrive. They opened the pallet. If you accidentally—
Wait, that's actually a cool— Oh my gosh, I did not even finish, bro. Zack the films, chill out. But still, that's actually a cool story, man. Bro, imagine you're one of the Marines, man, bro.
touched a table saw,
Aye, bro, who's doing that?
you'd
Do not attempt. Okay, Zack, I mean, we know it, man. Do not attempt.
probably think your fingers would be cut off. But this—
You probably think the finger will be cut off. Zack, I think you're dumb, bro. Of course it will be cut off, man.
isn't always the case. You see, some modern high-end saws actually know the difference between wood and your skin. Once your finger comes in contact with these special saws, it immediately detects the electrical conductivity from your skin. This triggers an immediate mechanical response that stops the blade in less than 5 milliseconds. If you accidentally touched—
But what happens if you were like Wally West and then you just made it very fast? Yeah, your finger's getting cut off.
a table saw. When a honeybee stings a human, they actually get stuck for a while
Bro. Yeah, see, this is how to torture a bee.
and can't leave. And this is because their stinger is barbed, which means it can't retract once it's lodged into something. But once the bee finally pulls away, its insides get ripped out because the stinger stays in the skin. This leaves the bee without some of its internal organs, resulting in its death.
Yeah. Aye, bees. I think you should not kill me now. Don't sting me anymore, bees, or you'll die.
When a honeybee— Have you ever wondered about this little dangly thing at the back of your throat?
Oh, I know this. It's used to scream and talk. Yeah, without it you can't talk at all. And it's used for food, you know? Yeah.
Well, even though it looks like a miniature punching bag,
Aye, to think it's a punching bag, bro. It's part of your mouth, man.
it actually serves a handful of important functions. You see, when you swallow food, this thing called a uvula actually swings backwards
Yeah,
to
uvula.
prevent the food from going up your nose. It's also constantly producing saliva to keep the throat moist, which aids in swallowing. And because there's a tiny muscle inside the uvula, it can move around, which helps you speak. Have you ever wondered
Yeah,
about
that's
this
the
little
thing.
dangly thing at the back? A red-hot iron is pushed into the tree, wounding it on purpose. Then a syringe filled with salt water is emptied inside the hole.
Yo,
This
why
causes
would
the
you do that?
tree to flood the damaged area with sticky resin to stop the damage.
Whoa, what type of sticky resin?
And over the next few years, the resin slowly spreads, turning into a sweet-smelling wood deep inside the trunk. Finally, it's harvested and sold
Is this how they like make perfumes or
for
something?
thousands of dollars per pound before being made into a luxury perfume.
Oh, so my whole life I've been smelling like a tree.
If you stuck a long sword out of a car aiming for a tree, the sword would obviously snap and rip from your hands.
Bro, who thought of
But what if the sword is unbreakable, you have an indestructible grip, and your body is physically immovable? Well, the force would then transfer to the car. It would screech to a halt as the sword hits. But what if the car can't stop and is forced to keep moving? Now the tree should split in half. But if the tree is indestructible too, with no way to break, bend, or stop, the energy has nowhere to escape. Would this unleash a massive shockwave as powerful as a nuclear explosion? Or worse, something reality itself isn't equipped to contain?
Whoa. Yeah, you're going back in time, bro. Never do this.
If you're stuck in a water slide that's filling up with water, most people think they should try to climb back up. But the slippery surface makes this nearly impossible. Instead, focus on staying calm and try to create space for air by tilting your head back. If water keeps rising, use your
Actually, I think you'll die. You're gonna drown, man.
hands to push yourself forward. If you can't move, brace yourself as the water fills the slide entirely. Once the pressure equalizes, you may be able to push forward and float to safety.
Bro, what is this face, man? Yeah, bro, what the?
Imagine waking up in a coffin and realizing that you were mistakenly buried alive. Now, this wouldn't happen with the medical guidelines we have today. But in the 19th century, old coffins were found with scratch marks on the inside, making this a legitimate concern. So, as a solution, they started adding strings inside the coffins that traveled up to the ground and were connected to a little bell. And if you woke up underground in a coffin, you could just ring the bell, signaling that you're still alive. Imagine waking up in a coffin and realizing that you were If you're trapped in the trunk of a vehicle, you should immediately start searching for the glow-in-the-dark release hatch. If you don't see the latch, don't panic. Trunks are not airtight, so there's no risk of running out of oxygen. Try feeling around the edges of the trunk for a handle. This may allow you to release the seat back. As a last resort, kick out one of the brake lights. This small opening will allow you to signal for help. If you're trapped in the trunk of a
Okay, that might be smart, but what if they're in like a place where it's isolated, like there's no people, then you're cooked. Just do the thing that he said to like pull down the seat thing, and then you go to the front seat, and then you start strangling that boy.
When you use a derma roller, it pushes a bunch of tiny needles into your face, creating small punctures across the surface. Your brain perceives these small holes as wounds, which triggers your body's natural healing response. The body then sends out cells to make collagen and elastin, which helps your skin stay firm and stretchy. Over time, these cells strengthen the skin, giving a firmer and more youthful appearance. When you use a derma roller,
So yeah, that's kind of cool. So if you look old, just use this.
a tiny nail is placed inside the drilled hole. Then it's glued shut and repainted. This makes one side of the die heavier, causing the opposite side to land face up more often, allowing you to cheat. Another method is heating the die slightly, with the number you want pointing upwards. As it cools down, the melted part settles unevenly, which changes its balance, making it more likely to land on your chosen number. And sometimes, certain sides of the die are shaved down to make them flatter. The flatter side doesn't roll as easily, making it land on the bottom with the number you want facing up. A tiny nail is placed.
Actually, guys, do not do this, because if you cheating is a sin, guys, so never do this.
Inside the. If you get a skin tag, some people think you can just
No, don't pull it out. It's part of your body.
rip them off yourself. But you actually shouldn't do this. You see, skin tags are connected to your body by a thin piece of tissue.
Yeah,
And if you looked inside of it, the tag
Okay, well, how can you look inside of it? An X-ray.
actually has its own nerves and blood vessels. Ripping it
Right, ripping it off, bro, that will hurt.
off would cause significant bleeding, and the open wound would be susceptible to infection. Instead, if you want them removed, a doctor can freeze them off with liquid nitrogen, which is a better option. If you get a skin tag,
Have you ever wondered why the letter E isn't used to grade? Teachers use A, B, C, D, and F, but they skip E. Why is this?
Yeah.
Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. You see, back in the day, schools did use the letter E, but in the 1930s, they decided to stop after students and parents thought that it meant excellent. It was
Excellent.
quickly replaced with F, because F for failed made more sense.
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered why the letter E isn't used to
The soldier's foot would break through a hidden bamboo slat and into a hole if they stepped onto a cartridge trap. Inside, a bullet was positioned on top of a nail that was fastened to a wooden board. And when the soldier's foot hit this shell, it pushed the nail into the primer. This caused the shell to suddenly explode and shoot back up at the soldier. The soldier's foot.
Now your foot is gonna get cooked and your face. But if it was literally at your ankle, bro, that bullet will explore to your whole body, to your ankle, to your whole head, bro.
Would break. If you plucked out a single strand of your hair, it could hold about 40 pennies without breaking. But if you braid just half of all your hair
Hi, bro, who's gonna do this?
into a rope, the combined strength could hold up a large SUV. And if you add in
SUV is like a car.
all of your hair into
Bro, look at the face of the girl. She's like, oh, what happened to my hair? I used to be very pretty.
the rope, it could withstand about 15 metric tons, which is about the weight of a young gray whale. If you plucked out a
Bro, why is this search thing is this? Alright, so I don't know how to zoom, but still, look at the left corner. It says like, search how strong is hair, bro. Who's thinking of that?
When a tiny frog hops into a giant tarantula's burrow, it
It's getting cooked. That tarantula is literally gonna die.
seems like it's walking right into a trap. But the spider checks the frog with its legs, and if the frog has the right chemical signals, it's safe. The frog helps by munching on ants that
Oh, so if that's the correct.
could attack the spider's eggs. In return, the tarantula becomes the frog's bodyguard, scaring off bigger predators. It makes the frog seem like a pet, but they're really just tolerant roommates. When a tiny frog hops, if you touch a cactus, you'll
Bro, there's no way somebody's literally just gonna grab it by the tip. Like, bro, I mean, accidentally it's gonna be okay, but purposely grabbing the tip, bro, you're just dumb.
probably get the spine stuck in your skin.
You'll probably, Zack, of course.
And if you try to pull them out, you can actually break them off in your flesh because they're so fragile. So instead, you should apply a
Okay, for a second I thought it was something else.
layer of glue over the area. Once it is dried, quickly peel it off in a smooth motion. This will pull out the spines evenly, causing them to stay intact. If you touch
Why does that kind of look satisfying though?
a cactus, you'll probably... His teeth were infected and fell out, so by the time he became president, he only had one tooth left.
Dang.
It was removed to fit his dentures, but they weren't made of wood like you might think. Instead, they were crafted from the teeth of animals and even other humans. But they barely fit and were painful to wear. This made it hard to speak, and he even
I think wooden would be better, bro.
avoided smiling, which is why he looks so grumpy in all of his portraits. His teeth were
He looked so handsome, but his teeth is cooked. That's why, kids, you should brush your teeth every day.
A few days ago, I showed you how this trick was done, and I was wrong. This is how I originally explained it. Cane, base, rods, back brace, harness.
Yo, wait, why is it blurred for me?
All that's left for the magician to do is use his core strength to pull his legs up. Well, this magician, known as Special Head, left a comment on my TikTok. He also made a response video proving that my theory is wrong. There appears to be no base or harness. In fact, Special Head has some other videos online where he just touches someone's head and levitates. So what's going on here? What's the real explanation to this trick? The answer is that I have no idea. A few days ago, I showed you how this
Alright, but yeah, that's kind of cool. But still, I think he's literally just that strong. Alright guys, I think that's gonna be the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. And I'll see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe. And also, that was very interesting. So, peace!